How's it going, everyone? Normally, I don't do videos on my thoughts on whatever I'm playing recently, even though I play a lot of games, or used to play a lot of games. I'm older now and lazy, so I'm a lazy gamer these days. But I'm going to change things a bit, and in this video, I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've finally completed the main story and many of the side quests as well. Just first playthrough. I don't know if I'll do another playthrough of it, but it's not going to be a structured kind of review or anything like that. It's just going to be more me rambling, to be honest, and more just for my own kind of reference later on. Maybe future me will come back and watch this and listen to this and have a different view later on. I don't know. And then for anyone else listening, well, thank you for listening, and let me know what you thought about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth down in the comments below. If you agree with me, disagree with me, or whatever, yeah, just feel free to leave a comment down below. So let's get right into it. So long game. My gosh, is this a long game. I started playing it the day it came out. Yeah, I think it was, I started playing it on release day. I didn't really expect it to be over 100 hours of me racking up the time. So by the way, when I play my games, I try not to use like toilet breaks or things as added time. I just go by the in-game clock, and then I try to pause the game or turn off the console so my time is not artificially ranking up, because I'm not there to actually play the game or whatnot, right? So accurate time was around 100 and probably 15 hours, I think it was, by the time I saw the ending. I'm going to be spoiling stuff in this game, like fully in this video, by the way. So good game, but I have a lot of conflicting feelings about it so far. So a big part of it is that it's just so long. Like, I just didn't think that it needed to be a 115-hour game. Yes, you can focus on the story, and for a lot of people who just want to do that, I would say for sure skip the side missions and quests whenever you feel like you just want to make some progress in the game. 100% do that. Do not feel compelled by the side quests. Except people like me did feel compelled by the side quests, because there's so many icons around. And a big part of why I personally did them as well is the side quests yield like really fun sort of, well, maybe not fun, but like interesting character to character moments, which I really wanted to see. So you might be doing one quest in one region, and it focuses a little bit on an interaction between Cloud and Tifa, and then another side quest that focuses on Cloud and Red, and so on and so forth, right? And that kind of expands as you go through the game, and more people join your party. So I really did like that. Like, I thought those moments were really amazing. I actually really liked that. The quests themselves, way better than whatever Final Fantasy 16 has. Less said about 16's crappy quests, the better, right? But there were just so many fluff things. The game is definitely padded. And then there's so many mini games that are added into this game. And people kind of compare the original Final Fantasy 7 saying, oh, there's so many mini games in that. But it was like, yeah, but they were really quick mini games for the most part, apart from the bigger dedicated ones like whatever was in Gold Saucer and then the Chocobo breeding. The rest were kind of just really kind of bit parts. And I guess a good comparison with that is more like the Rufus parade thing, which, by the way, amazing soundtrack for that period. I loved that bit, but I just feel like that was not super duper long in this game. It was fine, and it was nicely integrated. To be fair, like, okay, a lot of the minigames are integrated not bad in this game, and I believe you can skip a lot of them that do come up as part of the main scenario, just to kind of introduce you to the minigame, and then you don't have to play them again and again if you don't want to. I did. So yeah, I'm a bit conflicted in that, like, it was still enjoyable, but I just didn't need all of that. Like, I don't need all of this stuff to enjoy like a game experience. Like, less is more sometimes is how I would put it. But a lot of the mini games, they weren't all bad. I did like some of them. The shoot 'em up one in the Gold Saucer was pretty good. It controlled pretty good. The one I didn't like the most is probably the Chocobo mini game in the field in Cosmo Canyon, and you have to kind of do the gliding stuff. That one I really did not like. That one reminded me of a little bit of like Final Fantasy X's balloon catching one. I just don't like those type of mini games. I think a lot of the Chocobo mini games, outside of the breeding stuff, I don't think they're that good in the Final Fantasy games, to be honest. I've played nearly all of the mainline Final Fantasy games, so it's not like I'm not experienced in them. It's just weird that none of them are that good, in my opinion. So yeah, to me, in my honest opinion, the game is quite padded. It doesn't need to be that padded. I would definitely have preferred if they kept it a bit more tighter and streamlined, and definitely not 100 hours. And I hope the next part is not going to be something that crazy long either, because I'm just getting older and I don't have time. There's so much stuff vying for my attention. I'm just like, I don't need to do this mini game. The main story though, right? I really liked the main story. I thought it was very, very good. I thought the character moments included in the main story were very good as well. The cutscenes were really nice to look at. Soundtrack was amazing, by the way, in the game. There was so much of it that I don't have anything that particularly stands out, but very awesome soundtrack. I definitely want to listen to the soundtrack again. It has multiple composers, so if you're familiar with certain composers from the Final Fantasy series, then you might actually recognize some of them, like Hamozu's stuff. I did kind of clock one or two soundtracks. I was like, oh, that's definitely him. So that was really cool too. But yeah, the story was very good for the most part. I still don't think they needed to do whatever they're doing now with the whole alternate reality thing that, hey, MCU and what other people have done that for ages. Square Enix, you're a bit late to that. So it would have just been fine if they just kept to the main kind of pathway and just expanded here and there, elaborated here and there. But at the same time, if we get Zack back, I mean, I'm a bit biased towards Zack, to be quite honest. I really do like that character from all of the Final Fantasies. Zack is one of my top ones. So, yeah. But still, I would have preferred just a one-to-one translation with some expansion. That would have been fine for me. So, let's see what happens in the third part. You know, in the ending of this one, which I will just kind of spoil, I thought, while it was good, I enjoyed it personally. I do agree with a lot of people that, you know, a lot of the impact kind of goes because the Aerith being laid to rest scene is no longer here because they've changed it. She's now like, she's not there, but Cloud can see her. The others can't. Red has like a feeling of her, but that's about it. So while I liked it, I thought it was decent. It's definitely not got that same iconic imagery that people are used to from the original game, which, yeah, a lot of people just probably liked and expected. So that's a bit of a strange kind of course that they've taken with this, and I'd be really curious to know what kind of discussions the game development team had in like the meeting rooms of whether they should keep that in or not, because it was a very interesting choice not to go with that in this one. But yeah, I won't dwell on the story too much. I thought it was fine. Sephiroth is just kind of, you know, whatever in this game. He just appears and disappears and whatnot, so that was fine. I played it, by the way, in Japanese, so Japanese dialogue, English subtitles. I really liked the Japanese dialogue and the voice recording. I just tend to play most of my JRPGs in that. I'm a weeb, so to be quite honest, Remake and even some other games, and this is what have been a little bit distracting now. I am a weeb that doesn't speak Japanese, right? I'll be clear about that. So I just kind of pick up little bits where the English subtitles are definitely very different to the Japanese, even by implied meaning. I don't really care what other people say. My view is quite different. So that was distracting. And I feel like Cloud at times and Yuffie and even Barret sometimes appear to be quite different characters. The characterization in certain bits is quite different. Cloud kind of swears in a lot of stuff. I mean, I make it sound like he swears all the time, but there's moments where Cloud swears, and in the Japanese, I'm like, it doesn't sound like he's swearing or even has that sort of kind of implication to it. So why is he just swearing? I find it a bit cringe, to be honest, when they start adding swear words into like Final Fantasy. I don't know why. I swear a lot, actually, personally. I shouldn't. Naughty me. But it's a bit weird with this reading the subtitles. I just felt like I'm hearing something else and reading something that doesn't match up. And I've seen other people who do actually speak Japanese kind of say that it is quite different. So I don't like that personally. I really would prefer more one-to-one translation. Though in this game, in the settings, it does say that there will be a difference. Doesn't mean I have to like it, right? Like for me, it's just the difference there. I hope they do a bit of a better job with the localization moving forward. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for the time being. What else is there to talk about with the game? Oh, I played it in dynamic difficulty, and I have no idea really what was so dynamic about it. It was supposed to be that a bit like a Final Fantasy VIII situation where enemies level up with you so you don't get overpowered. Maybe that was the case because there were moments in the game where, you know, it wasn't an easy game for me. I did find it plenty challenging at different intervals. The Midgarstrom boss was, you know, that big bloody worm. I had trouble with that one, to be quite honest. That's like one of the first bosses, right? I had trouble with that one. And Sephiroth is kind of lame though, because he has that stupid last attack which you just kind of you figure it out eventually, but that one was annoying. But Genova, I forgot the Genova fight before Sephiroth. That one I had a bit of trouble with, but I think it was just because I didn't really know, I wasn't dodging properly the laser attack. But regardless, I still had a decent challenge. I would say I was fairly challenged, and just for my gamer cred in quotes, I played Devil May Cry and stuff like that in normal up to like DMD modes and whatnot. So it's not like I'm like terrible at games. I would say I'm not very good. I still play those modes, but yeah, I found dynamic mode perfectly challenging for VII Rebirth. But yeah, I mean, that kind of leads into actually combat, which I thought was very fun for the most part. I still found it extremely chaotic, even by the end of the game. There's just so much going on with the battle system, because like you've got each of the individual unique characters, which is amazing, by the way. Everyone's very unique, and I love that. But then you've got the synergy attacks, the synergy abilities, which I kept forgetting about. You got the backline synergy abilities, which I always kept missing. Then you got the summons, and then the summon moves that happens, which half the times I just summon them and ignored because I was just too busy doing other stuff. I think a lot of it you're supposed to kind of explore on multiple playthroughs, but with a single playthrough being as long as it is, I don't really feel like I want to play the game all over again. Not right now, anyway. So yeah, there's a lot to get stuck into with the game. It does appear shallow in the beginning, but it definitely isn't. It definitely isn't a shallow game. But I really did enjoy it by the end. Although like I said, it is chaotic, so it reminds me that it's kind of moving towards like the kind of crazy Kingdom Hearts recent games where everything is just fireworks and characters flying all about, which not every RPG needs to turn into that direction. I just don't see the need for every RPG to do that. But still, I found it fun. I found the characters all being unique very fun, and I just like that it's a much more expanded version of where, if for people that did play or didn't play, but Type 0, to me, after playing that, I always imagined the future of Final Fantasy in terms of real-time stuff and parties. This is how I saw it. So seeing that expanded in 15 and then in 7 Remake and further expanded in Rebirth is just amazing. I still hate the stagger system, by the way, in any Final Fantasy game. I really don't like that system, but still, it's a fun game. Everyone's unique. Tifa is probably my favorite. I really liked Red as well. He's quite simple. That's why I liked him as well. He's simple and does pretty severe damage, so I liked him, especially in the beginning. Aerith, I think a lot of people had a lot of trouble because she's quite slow. But once you get space with her and set her up, she's not bad. She's just quite different, I think, and makes sense, right? She's not really like a melee kind of person, so it makes a lot of sense that she's going to feel different. But for me, I think, Tifa was definitely my favorite, and that follows on actually from 7 Remake. She was my favorite in that one, and still in Rebirth, she does hit like a truck as well and boosts that kind of stagger bonus damage. That was fun. So moving on from the combat, other bits in the game. Oh yeah, just remembered of Red 13's change, the voice change. Yeah, I like it at the end of it. I thought it was fine. I just like most people, I didn't really register that from the original Final Fantasy, but it's only when you look back and see that actually the writing style is then changed. But that was interesting, and I liked it. I appreciate the direction they went with this one. I thought it was fine. I do agree with some, though, people who say that actually after the change he becomes extremely kind of, maybe he's like quite intelligent and wise in the beginning, and suddenly he's just a naive kid almost, right? And that bit I agree is a strange change. The voice itself, I don't mind so much. The one thing I don't like about the voice, even adult and the young one, is just get proper animal roars and grunts. I don't know why they had someone acting that. It just sounds awful. It just sounds really, really awful. So the voice itself, I don't mind, adult, and the teenage one, it's those grunting and attacking and being attacked sound effects that I just thought was just a bad choice. So yeah, not something I personally liked anyway. Other characters, by the way, I thought were really great. You got Cloud, which I thought was fine. Barrett and all of those were really good as well. Tifa actually I thought was not that good. I don't know why, but Tifa, I kind of don't like her in this game. She just feels a bit dead. Aerith was great, but Tifa I just thought was a bit like dead. I'm just like, Cloud, why do you like this woman? She's just didn't feel anything for her personally. Aerith was just lovely though, so I liked her characterization in this game, so that was great. Yuffie was great. She was alright. I loved Yuffie, although I do feel that the English subtitles, and the Japanese was quite different. So, but yeah, the VO that was kind of more paying attention to, I liked that. Yeah, overall, I did like it. I'm still conflicted in terms of, was it worth the 115 hours? I don't know. I mean, it's a long game. I want to play so many games these days that this being over 100 hours was a bit of an ask to order. I did it. I did nearly all the side quests. The ones I've got to finish is going to be the Gilgamesh one. I was very annoyed though that very late into the game they end up saying, oh, you now can do hard modes on a lot of these mini games, which was not cool. That was not cool, because I saw the rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3 as the challenges. So by the time I finished rank 3s, and I was like, oh, I'm done with these mini games. I'd never want to touch them again. Then you got hard mode, and apparently it ties into unlocking the VR missions with Zack and Sephiroth. That I'm not too happy about. I just want to play those missions. I don't want to do hard mode mini games of games I don't like to do the Zack and Sephiroth stuff. So I'm really, really disappointed with that, to be quite frank, because it just throws it at you so late into the game. There's a point where there's too much coming at you into the side content late into the game. It'd be fine if they did it post credit. It's like, oh, by the way, you can do a lot of this stuff now as well, as a reason to come back and play the game. Yeah, that's just my view. And I know different people might say one way, they prefer a specific way, and others might prefer even fewer things, or even more even. But this is just my personal opinion on it right now. But overall, yeah, I did enjoy the game. I'll try and do the Gilgamesh thing, but I think right now I just want to take a break from it and move on to other games. I've been dying to play Dragon's Dogma 2, so I'm going to get on that ASAP, because that was one of my favorite games from the PS3, Xbox 360 era. So I'm very excited to just finally get onto Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm going to leave this kind of discussion of VII Rebirth here for now. You can talk about this game for hours with the right people. So let me know what you guys thought about with your experience with the game down below. I suspect a lot of people just kind of gave up, to be honest, or are still kind of picking at it bit by bit. I do definitely feel, by the way, that this is much more suitable for portable gaming, because a lot of side quests were quite short and snappy. None of the side quests felt overly long, and something suitable for portable gaming. So who knows, maybe if there's a future kind of Switch sort of thing, which there will be because Nintendo actually already confirmed that, yeah, maybe they'll do a port of it on that. I'm still not going to replay it, not on that anyway. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about VII Rebirth and even Dragon's Dogma 2, since I'm going to play that. I don't mind seeing spoilers in that one, to be honest. So that's it. I'm going to leave it here for now, and yeah, maybe I'll do a kind of video like this for Dragon's Dogma 2. We'll see. I still need to play many other games, and yeah, just kind of get better at Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 separately as well. But that's another topic. Thanks for watching. See you next time.